Now on CoastTV News.
Action at Legislative Hall, the investigation under consideration by Delaware lawmakers. Plus, emergency response solution to bridge shutdown. How first responders are preparing for a closure that can turn a commute from 5 minutes to 45.
For the second straight day, we're back up into the 50s across the Delmarva Peninsula, tracking a few rain and snow showers overnight, and then an arctic blast to round out the week. How low do the wind chills fall? I'll have the answer coming up.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. Today is Wednesday, January 14th. I'm Grace Eckerly and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. Tuesday marked the first day of the second part of the 153rd legislative session in the Delaware General Assembly. One of those highlights, a bipartisan bill passed in the House. House Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 106 requires school districts and charter schools to adopt a policy restricting student use of phones during school hours. The bill now heads back to the Senate for consideration. And another bill under consideration in Dover, Senate Bill 222, was introduced on Tuesday. It is the first step in a constitutional amendment that would set new term limits for state legislators and several statewide offices. According to the legislation, a person could be elected to the Delaware Senate no more than 5 times and to the House of Representatives no more than 8 times. The plan would also limit the Attorney General, Insurance Commissioner, Auditor of Accounts, and State Treasurer to 2 terms each. Maryland and Virginia's legislative session also begins today. Lawmakers in Annapolis are expected to tackle the state's $1.5 billion budget deficit. And in Virginia, legislators are considering constitutional amendments, including abortion and same-sex marriage rights. Now taking a live look into Rehoboth Beach this morning. It is sunny and mild, but Chris, that's about to take a turn.
Good morning, Grace. Yes, we are going to see a big turnaround in our weather here over the next 2 days as far as the temperatures are concerned. You have mostly cloudy skies here in Ocean View, 52 degrees. And look, we're right back up into the 50s. We're at 51 Millsboro, 50 in Milford, 50 Laurel, 51 in Salisbury. Now, we continue to see winds out of the southwest picking up a bit, gusting to 20 Georgetown. We're gusting to 13 there in Millsboro, but you can see the clouds continuing to filter in across the area, but we are still on the dry side. Few showers across the Carolinas. A few of those may creep into the area later on this afternoon, but the main cold front still back off across portions of Indiana and Illinois. That's going to be swinging through later on tonight. So we are going to see mostly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. Again, that stray sprinkle or shower around the 4 or 5 o'clock hour can't be ruled out. Most of the area does stay dry. Another mild night, but that's going to be changing overnight as we see a round of showers and even a brief snow shower is possible. We'll talk more about that and those bitter wind chills late in the week. Grace.
Chris, on Tuesday, Delaware Senator Chris Coons spoke on the Senate floor to honor the life of Delaware State Police Corporal Matthew Ty Snook. Snook was killed in the line of duty on December 23rd, and here's what the senator had to say.
I am so grateful for the service and sacrifice of Corporal Ty Snook of the Delaware State Police, a peacemaker, a hero, someone who deserves to be a legend in our national law enforcement community. May the God of love welcome you into his arms.
And for more on Senator Coons' speech, head to the article on our website, coasttv.com. This weekend, the Rehoboth Beach Barbell community is hosting an event honoring Corporal Matthew Ty Snook. According to their Facebook page, the Lift in Honor takes place this Saturday, January 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., bringing people together through powerlifting and fitness challenges. The club says all participants donate directly to the official fundraiser that supports Corporal Ty Snook's young family. And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this Wednesday morning as the Clintons could face possible contempt charges for defying congressional subpoenas. Now, some Democrats are saying the former president and former Secretary of State should testify before a congressional committee investigating Jeffrey Epstein. As NBC's Alice Barr shows us, the debate taking place in our nation's capital.
Contempt of Congress charges now looming for former President Bill Clinton, with the House Oversight Committee saying they'll take that rare step after the former president failed to appear for a deposition in the investigation into late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
He did not show up today.
Former President Clinton, who appears in a series of photos and records related to Epstein, has long denied wrongdoing or knowledge of Epstein's crimes.
No one's accusing Bill Clinton of any wrongdoing. We just have questions, and that's why the Democrats voted along with Republicans to subpoena Bill Clinton.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is scheduled to appear today, but in a letter to the House Oversight Chair, both Clintons declined, saying they had nothing to add, calling the subpoenas legally invalid, and writing, quote, "Every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and are ready to fight for this country, its principles, and its people, no matter the consequences. For us, now is that time." Some Democrats arguing the Clintons should be allowed to answer in writing, as others have, and pressing the Justice Department to finish releasing the full Epstein files.
And then we'll be able to determine all that we need to know.
Though Democrat Ro Khanna, who helped lead the charge to force the files release, said former President Clinton should appear.
Everyone involved should be providing an explanation, and I have conducted this in a way that doesn't single out Republicans or Democrats.
Conflicting views in a high-profile push for answers. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Stay with us on Coast TV News Midday, because after the break, Sussex chef celebrated the major opportunity that's taking the food expert and her skills abroad.
Enjoying one more day of unseasonably mild temperatures ahead of a cold front that's going to bring, well, us back to reality. We're going to see maybe a brief snow shower early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about wind chills in the teens and then single digits by Friday morning. Congratulations to Judith DeFrancesco, Lewis, Delaware, winning an umbrella from Coast TV. Your full 7-day forecast just minutes away.
Happening today, the Sussex Preservation Coalition is expected to discuss predictions for Delaware's climate future. According to the group, a coastal hazard specialist with Delaware Sea Grant will lead the presentation. Information is set to include new climate projections and how communities can adapt, especially through land use planning. The Sussex Preservation Coalition says people can head to the Lewis Public Library at 7 p.m. or view online. Next, a Sussex County chef taking her skills to the Winter Olympics. For 35 years, Maria Fraser has had a landscaping business, but now she's the executive chef at Cafe on 26 in Ocean View. World-renowned Italian chef and Olympics culinary director Carlo Zari started coming to the Cafe on 26 when he was visiting Delaware's coast. Maria was selected as one of 6 American chefs joining Chef Zari for the Olympics.
I'm sure I'll be working a lot, I'll be prepping a lot and cooking on the line a lot, which is fine with me because I'm used to doing that here 18 hours a day.
Fraser says she isn't sure what she's going to be cooking, but she's excited to get to Italy. She says she is excited to bring a bit of Delmarva with her and hopefully some Italian cuisine back to the restaurant. And a reminder, the Winter Olympics run February 6th to the 22nd. Only right here on Coast TV. And coming up next, checking in with the Chris Mastrobuono. He's in the First Alert Weather Center and he's got your full forecast after this.
Boy, we have certainly been spoiled here over the last week. We had 60s last week, 50s this week, and this is going to be the last really nice day from a temperature standpoint because we're going to be back to reality tomorrow as temperatures are going to be crashing as we go into Thursday. We're at 51 degrees right now in Rehoboth, and we're pretty much in the 50s everywhere. 52 Milton, 50 Bridgeville, 50 in Laurel, right, 51 in Salisbury. You see the winds beginning to pick up a bit out of the southwest, gusting to 20 in Georgetown. We're gusting to 15 Indian River Inlet. We do have gale watches up for the Bay as well as the Atlantic, and these run through Friday morning. Then Thursday and Friday, we're expecting the winds to really begin to pick up across the peninsula. Now, the clouds are going to continue to stream in across the area. Watching this area of shower activity across the Carolinas, we may see a shower or a little sprinkle kind of push into the area later on this afternoon. You can see kind of a piece of energy here up in the upper Great Lakes region, and then we have another piece of energy to the south. These areas are not phasing, creating a bigger storm, so we just have a few pieces of energy that we're going to be seeing push through the area over the next day. Now you can see rain precipitation chances not really all that big here over the next 5 days. We'll see a mix of rain and snow overnight, at least a brief shower, and then a chance of showers over the weekend. Mostly cloudy skies through the day today. We're up to 54, Georgetown 53, Ocean Pines 54 into Cambridge. As I mentioned, that brief, see a little shower chance, a little brief sprinkle there late this afternoon. Not going to be that big of a deal. As we go into the overnight, we'll see the front approach, a round of some showers, then quickly changing to some snow. But notice the temperatures are still above freezing. So this is going to be very quick, an hour maybe of a flake there, and then it's going to push offshore just before sunrise. And then we're looking at our warmest temperatures are going to be in the morning in the 30s and 40s, and then falling through the day. So it's kind of going to be a reverse day of what we normally see. There's those winds out of the south, gusting tomorrow to 30-35 miles an hour out of the west-northwest. And you still see by Friday morning, still with some gusts to 30 miles an hour. So that's going to produce some pretty bitter wind chills. So there's that brief snow shower chance through about dawn tomorrow. The front pushes through and that cold, bitter air pushes into the area as we round out the week. Wind chills by tomorrow afternoon are in the teens. By Friday morning, we are talking about single digits, feeling like 9 in Georgetown. As we go over the weekend, mainly dry conditions on Saturday. Could see a brief shower. Then watching this system into Sunday evening. Most of the energy is going to be offshore, but we could be on the northern periphery and get grazed by some light snow, especially at the coast as we go into Sunday night. 54 this afternoon, mostly cloudy skies. That brief rain and snow shower overnight, we turn colder. 36 into Thursday. We are at 37 into Friday after those single-digit wind chills in the morning, 45 in through Saturday, and then another shot of cold air into early next week. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And coming up tonight on DSN at 6, live Delaware High School wrestling when Cape hosts Sussex Central, and then it's a final score at 10:30 p.m. You can watch that wrestling match on DSN Plus along with these exclusives at 6 p.m. It's NCAA men's volleyball with Eastern Maryland Shore hosting Virginia Wesleyan, and also at 6, Indian River visits Lake Forest in wrestling. There's more wrestling at 6:30 p.m. when Dover takes on Smyrna. And here's what we can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a wonderful day so far here along coastal Delmarva. And if you join us today at 4, here's what's coming your way. We're going to be chatting with our friends from the Parker Group about what's going on with the real estate market, some changes. Will they benefit buyers? Will they benefit sellers? Well, you have to tune in to find out. We're also going to be chatting with our friends from Children's Beach House about their upcoming gala. And we are going to be recapping yesterday's great debate, mac and cheese. Do you eat it with a spoon? Do you eat it with a fork? You still have time to chime in over on our Facebook page with the poll that's up for you. But we will get into the final sayings today at 4. All of that and more is happening on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
The foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland are planning to meet with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio Wednesday at the White House. The meeting comes amid increased rhetoric from President Donald Trump that he wants to either buy Greenland or take it by force. Analysts say the presence of Vance at the meeting makes those threats more serious, but Greenland's prime minister has insisted the territory is not for sale and has no interest in severing ties with Denmark. And the parent company of luxury retailer Saks Fifth Avenue filed for bankruptcy protection late on Tuesday. Saks Global filed for Chapter 11 protection in the U.S. bankruptcy court for the Southern District of Texas. This marks the first big retailer bankruptcy of the new year. The company had struggled with a heavy debt load following its purchase of rival Neiman Marcus in 2024. Saks Global was the product of former Saks owner HBC buying Neiman Marcus for nearly $2.7 billion. An emergency response solution after the break, the bridge shut down, and how first responders are preparing for a closure that could turn a commute from 5 minutes to 45. A big change coming to commutes in and out of Ocean City. Taking a look from our Coast Copter, drivers will have to detour around the full closure of Route 50 drawbridge from January 20th through February 3rd. Traffic will be routed up US 113 near Berlin, over Route 90 and back into town on Coastal Highway. Ocean City's fire department is urging drivers to plan ahead, slow down, give themselves extra time once the detour begins next week.
We have a lot of folks who drop their kids off to the elementary school or Seaside Christian Academy or to work over here. Go ahead and practice that route so you understand how much time you're going to have so that you can slow down and not be rushing to work, creating more accidents.
Fire officials say staffing and resource allotment are being adjusted so emergency coverage remains strong on both sides of the bay. New this morning, upcoming lane closures on southbound Route 1 between Best Lane and Janice Road in Lewis. You can see that area on your screen now. DelDOT says the closures begin Monday, January 19th, and are expected to last about 4 weeks. Work will take place from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., weather permitting, and DelDOT says crews are widening the roadway, grading and shifting temporary barriers as part of the Minos-Conaway intersection project.
Well, the clouds are rolling into Laurel, but that's not stopping the temperatures from rising. 51 degrees. We'll see that southwest wind continue, and we're going to top out in the lower to mid 50s. Could see a stray shower later on this afternoon. We'll talk about a cold 10-day forecast here in minutes. Expect mostly cloudy skies for the remainder of the day. Will fall from 53 by around 1. Could see a stray shower sprinkle between about 4 and 6. Then we'll fall to 46 by around 7. Then as we go into the overnight, we could see another brief round of a rain or snow shower into the pre-dawn hours of Thursday. Wind chills are going to be falling into the teens by Thursday afternoon, even lower by Friday morning. We're talking about wind chills in the single digits to greet us Friday morning. Then we dry things out into Friday afternoon. Could see a late rain shower into Saturday. Then watching the coast for a system that could graze the area with some light snow into Sunday afternoon into the evening. And then into early next week, we'll have another shot of cold air. We're going to struggle to get out of the 20s, I think, by Tuesday. And then we slowly rebound back into the lower 40s the end of next week. Grace.
Oh, sounds like a roller coaster, Chris. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Midday. If you like more local news or local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app, and don't forget to join us back here for Coast TV News at 5. That's later this afternoon. Until then, have a great Wednesday.